and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie, I'm your host, and I'm so happy to be here. It is the 17th of October if you are listening live at 10 a.m. Pacific. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I want to welcome you to the show as well. But we are live this morning, so that's always a good thing. I want to let you know that we're over in the chat room. You can get there by heading over to 12 Radio, that's number 1, number 2, radio.com. Click on the chat button and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. So that's very fun. And the chat room, I want to let you know a couple of things. You'll see a banner at the top of the page that says you are listening to the Katie Weaver Show. Comment below. That's a place to put reading requests, comments that you really want me to see. I am also, however, doing this event via Facebook Live in the chat room, so you can find that there. And I will also add this event to my YouTube channel later today. So if you're listening to an archive or a replay and you decide you'd rather watch it than listen to it, just head over to Domestic Mystic on YouTube and you can find it there. So, lots of housekeeping stuff, but that's what you need to know. We have so many things to talk about today. But first I want to let you guys know that we are on sale today over at 12 Listen for Wednesday. It's home put day. So if you want to, if you need something, if you need a reading or a connection of some sort, a clearing, if you need me to, I don't know, I have this energy today of like if you need me to kind of de-bitchify you or re-bitchify you or something, come see me. Depends on what's going on in your world, right? But I'd love to talk to you over there. So now you know. All right. So it is one of my favorite shows of the year today. It is our Witches Runes show. So those of you who have been listening to me for a few years know that around Halloween, we dust off the Witches Runes and we do a lot of Witches Runes readings. And I'm really excited because I get to do Witches Runes today. Here's how readings will look. In the chat room, if you would like a reading, give me one question. Just one question. Something that I can ask the runes. That's all. I'd really like to do it question-based today because I think we'll have a funner time with the runes that way, because the runes are meant to ask a question. I might reformat your question a little bit to make it more appropriate for the runes. We'll see. But at any rate, that's what's going on. I would like to do as many Witches Runes readings today as we can. I'm going to talk all about Witches Runes later on in the show, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, sit tight. You will soon. Hopefully you'll be excited about maybe getting a set of your own, or making a set of your own and having fun with them. Witches Runes are so fun. Okay. So here you go. I actually earlier this week was wondering what spirit was going to call me to do today, and then I remembered that it's time for Witches Runes, and that felt absolutely perfect for me, so that's what we're doing. Alrighty. Well, you guys, I did something so totally out of character for me, and I bought a new car, which is a good thing, right? I love my car. Let me say that first, because I'll feel bad if I don't. I have an Acadia, and I love my car. It has been a fantastic car for me. It is comfy, it's safe, it does great on slick roads, it has heated leather seats, blah, blah, blah. It's a great car. But it has 260,000 miles on it. And as you guys know, we drive a lot. We go, clear to Boise for my son for his college. We take our daughter to Utah frequently to play softball. We travel with sports a lot, yada, yada, yada. We put a lot of miles on our cars. And so I kind of been feeling like I need to get a new car. 2 weeks ago, my father-in-law pinned me down and said, you need to get a new car. And I said, oh, I'm not doing that. And he's like, yes, come on, it's time. That car's too old. You have to do it. You got to go get a new car. Because he loves car shopping and buying new cars. So he was hoping to rope me in to helping me buy me a new car. And I said, no. I love my car. I'm not doing it. But he must have planted a seed, because on Friday, we found a car on auction that I really liked, and very spontaneously Saturday morning, had Scott buy it for me via auction. I hadn't even seen it, hadn't driven it, nothing. This is not me at all. At all. I'm blaming something. Venus, maybe? I don't know. But So we went and picked it up yesterday. I felt so weird about it. It was a good choice. I know it's a good choice. It has half the miles mine does. It's a Beamer, for Christ's sake. A BMW X3. I've never had a Beamer in my life. Anyway, picked it up yesterday, drove it home, and the auction place is like an hour and a half away. So I had a good long ride with her coming home. And now I don't know. I'm not sold. She's not the Acadia. She's not as comfy. I don't think she's as good. But maybe she is. Maybe I need to give her some time. Maybe I'm just being a little difficult. So I'm going to give her a minute and decide. And I guess if I don't like her, I'll sell her and get something else. But at any rate, that's my drama. It's been chaotic. It's so silly. I know. I just, I don't change things very often. I don't rearrange my bedroom. I don't buy a new purse. I get the things I like, the creature comforts that I like and want, and I can keep them a really long time. And the idea of changing my car just makes my stomach hurt. But at any rate, things have to change sometimes, and I know it, but I've been really weird about it. I think Scott's been ready to kill me, but what can you do anyway? So there you go. I'm really excited to go ahead and jump into a couple of things. Let's go ahead and take a look at the magazine really quick. So I'm going to put a link in the chat room. As you guys know, I have a magazine that comes out the first part of the week, and I will send it to you if you'd like me to. You can subscribe over on my website at katie-weaver.com, but I also post it on Facebook and on my website, so there's lots of ways to find it. But let's take a look at it. Lots of good stuff happening. So first of all, of course, there's always a note from me. It's loading, it's loading. I don't know why I'm loading it. I had it pulled up already. Okay, here we go. So there's always a note from me. There is a note here that I want to make sure that I mention, and that is that on Friday, October 26th, so a week from Friday, we are doing a very special panel. And it's a mediumship panel. So 4 of us from here at 1-2 Listen are going to have a mediumship panel. We are discussing mediumship in depth. Won't be doing readings that day. We just don't have time. I want to really discuss a lot of things about mediumship that I think have gotten confused. I want to discuss what mediumship looks like and feels like for everyone. I promise you guys, I'm bringing people here in that have very different attitudes and opinions about stuff. I think it's going to be great. I hope that all of you who have had mediumship experiences or would like to have mediumship experiences can come and listen to this show and find something in it that resonates with you, a gem, a piece of wisdom, something that helps you make sense out of your own life experiences. So the mediums that are coming are Elizabeth Lindsay, Brittany Opplinger, Lori Lines, Lori, who we don't get on radio very often. I'm so excited to have her, and myself. I'm excited for Lindsay and Brittany too, or for Elizabeth and Brittany too. That sounded one-sided, lopsided. I'm excited for all of them. It's going to be a great show. But I also have breaking news that on Halloween, on the 31st of October, I'm going to tell you something. Christy's going to kill me because I haven't talked to her about this yet, but I'm going to say it anyway. On October 31st, on Halloween, I am guest hosting for Melissa Caprio. And so that's on Wednesday, of course, and that's a little later in the afternoon from this show. And I have invited Christy. Right now I'm inviting her. Christy, this was late breaking news. We didn't have a chance to talk. Some of you had asked me if we would do another panel about dark entities and things that go bump in the night. Those kinds of spirits, our experiences with them, and what we know about them and what we have to share. So Christy and I will be coming together on the 31st of October to discuss for a dark entities panel. It may not just be the 2 of us. I'm not sure. So that's late breaking. I don't have more information than that, but I want to let you guys know that's happening because some of you asked me specifically for it. So I had an opportunity yesterday to grab that time slot, so I did. So that will be coming up on Halloween. So watch for that. Much more information about it will be forthcoming, of course. And then in moving along in the magazine, looking at my new article, my memoirs, mostly for me, sometimes for you. I wrote a memoir about one of the small and gentle miracles that happened to me shortly after my mom died. Something special that happened. Lots of special things happened, but this was one of those little miracles that, I don't know, it will always stay with me. When people ask me if I believe in miracles, I always think about this one, among others. And then, of course, the segment that used to be the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish, right? And as some of you know, many of you know, I have changed the format of the Daily Dish. I'm not sharing it anymore in the magazine or on my website. Oh, Christy has confirmed. Thank you, Christy. And sorry for that. She's confirmed to be my co-conspirator on that show for the Dark Entities show. So thank you. You know I was going to make her do it one way or another. Even if it wasn't by putting her on the spot on live radio. I can make things happen. Okay, back to the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish. This is a daily reading that I give. It's a daily reading based on the energy of the day. And I had been putting it in the magazine and posting it on my website. I'm doing it differently now. It's coming out as a daily email. So if you subscribe to it, and I just put a link in the chat room to subscribe, if you subscribe to it, then every morning early, you'll receive an email that is just that, just the Domestic Mystics Daily Dish. It's just a few lines. It's just a quick little heads up for the day. I am really enjoying it. You guys must be, because I've had a lot of people sign up for it, and I'm having fun sending those out. So that's how to receive the daily reading from me. Alrighty. Okay, so I have my reading special. I'm actually going to do something different. The reading special in the magazine this month is my autumn equinox video reading, and you can learn more about that there. But actually, I'm going to change it up because we are in Witches Rune season. So I'm going to put a link in the chat room. So my special reading, or reading special right now, special reading special, both, is my Witches Runes reading. It's a video reading. So you purchase it over at one2listen.com as an email reading. And then I will do the reading. It's a 5-rune Osho spread. You can ask me questions, or you can just leave it up to Spirit. Either way is fine. And I'll send you over your reading. I'll perform it as a video, or perform it. That seems weird. I will film myself doing that reading and speaking directly to you, and then I'll send that reading over to you. So I put a link in the chat room. I've already done several of these because we focused on them over on 1-2 day. But anyway, I wanted to stick with that because it's Witches Rune season. And some of you guys get a Witches Rune reading every year. And it's fun to look back on what it was last year and what it is this year, and so on and so forth. So if you'd like one, that's how to do it. Okay, so back to the magazine. Christy brings us our crystal guidance every week, and our crystal guidance this week is the carnelian. Carnelian supports creativity, heals anxiety, gives strength during difficult family times. So I love carnelian for all three of those things. I love carnelian. If you can get a big carnelian palm stone, you are in heaven, because they are absolutely amazing stones. They feel so good in the hand. They do so much for your spirit. In your collection, if you do not have carnelian, why? There's a new ad for Christy's new book. Make sure you check that out. If you haven't gone over and pre-ordered it, make sure that you do. And then, of course, Christy also brings us a card every week from her Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck. And this week it's the Sacral Chakra card. So, of course, we want to take a look at that. It is all about creativity, emotional expression, and core beliefs. The challenge, if your sacral chakra is not in a good place, would be feeling stuck, blocked, or perfectionism. The crystal is orange calcite. The meditation is I feel, I create, I communicate, I matter. Love that. All right. And we have a really lovely article from Kai called The Value of Silence. I loved it because, and you may be able to imagine this from me, silence is not my forte. I don't really do silence all that often. I'm either making noise or hearing noise most of the time. It's a good reminder that silence is good for your body. It's good for your spirit. It's good for your emotional state. It's good for you. So great article. Thank you so much for that, Kai. And then the tip of the week is to carve an abundance pumpkin. I really love this tip. You know I love this time of year. I've only told you guys that about 40 million times now. Pick a good-sized pumpkin with a flat bottom. Easy enough. Cut a lid into the top and remove the seeds. You know, the thing that you've been doing since you were a kid probably, right? And then use a sharp knife to carve words and symbols that speak of abundance into your pumpkin. So maybe you carve a money symbol. Maybe you carve a heart. Maybe you carve something that indicates travel or that indicates a job or whatever. What is abundance to you? What are we manifesting, right? Carve it all into your pumpkin and then carve out small holes to press in a few pieces of citrine and green calcite. So crystals, citrine and green calcite, both are crystals that are amazing for attracting abundance. Okay, when it's done, then bless your pumpkin by rubbing it gently with essential oils that feel abundant to you. Frankincense, sandalwood, allspice, mint, those are all abundant oils. And then every time you light a candle in your pumpkin, allow the flame to energize your words and symbols, attracting wonderful things to you. I love this. I love the abundance pumpkin. And you could take that idea and spin off of it. I mean, it's just a fun play on candle magic, right? But you could spin off of it and maybe do a love pumpkin, a romance pumpkin, a health pumpkin, a happiness pumpkin, a joy pumpkin, right? It goes on and on and on. But this is the basic premise of doing it. So much fun. I'm doing it. I haven't done this. I've carved a pumpkin this year yet. My kids have, twice. Twice they have drug friends home and called me and said, we're coming to our house to carve pumpkins. And I've been like, oh, okay. Not that I don't love my kids and their friends coming over here, but at 11 o'clock at night, when I got a call that 6 kids were headed over here to carve pumpkins, I wasn't as happy as, well, I wasn't that happy. It's all good. I'd rather them be here at 11 o'clock at night. Okay. Brittany's article, she said we need a giant cardboard box. I love what she had to say about helping us find some way to all cooperate under this big tent that we are all clobbering each other in right now. So great article, Brittany, and thank you so much for that. Alrighty, then of course there's always tips and tricks from me. Great article this week from Dr. Elisa. She says, you have permission to change your mind, and I'm so glad she said it. So often we think we want something, we manifest it, we work hard for it, we get it, we're not in love. Or it works for us for a while and then it doesn't. And then I've heard many people say, but I asked for this. Okay, fine, you asked for this. Now ask for something else, right? You are never stuck. You don't have to do something for time immemorial. You have permission to change your mind. Great article and a good reminder from her. And then a beautiful Magic Monday message from Melissa Caprio. I believe in magic. I loved this postcard. It's a lot of fun. And you know what, Melissa? I believe in magic too. So that is the magazine this week. So if you see something in there that sings to your spirit, I hope you do. And make sure that you take a little time to read through the articles if you haven't. And of course, let me know if you would like to subscribe to it, and I'll start sending it to you as soon as it's hot off the press. That's how that works. So lots of good stuff. Alrighty, let's do our weekly reading. So of course this comes from my Ground Bless Protect and Move deck, and you can learn more about it over at katie-beaver.com. It's a 5-card reading giving you some ideas of great spiritual care for the week. So we're going to start with the ground card. So ground this week, I pulled the tree card. So how do you ground with trees? So easy. Put your arms around a tree, hug it, stand there and just allow your energy to run down into the energy of the roots of the tree. Just let your root chakra mingle with the energy of the tree. That's extremely grounding. You can sit with your back against a tree too. And I think it's perfect to help you to ground. That's really easy. I've used this trick with my kids for a long time. My youngest, when she was a little smaller, if she got really spun up, she'd have a hard time coming back down, like we all do sometimes. And we had a deal that if that's where she went, you know, that then she knew that she was going to go out back and sit with the apple trees for a while until she felt better. And sometimes I'd send her out there, but a lot of times she'd send herself out there. She'd go, I know, I have to go out to the trees. And she'd go out there and sit with the trees until she felt better. Sit with the trees until you feel better. If you're ungrounded, if your wheels won't quit turning, if you cannot stop your brain, if you're feeling really anxious, go sit with your trees. Elisa says, thanks for talking about my article, and I believe in magic and mermaids. Me too. All righty. The blessed card is the throat chakra. Okay, such an important one because my gosh, how often do we find our voices getting stifled? Do we find us running out of the courage or the personal power we need to speak up, to say something, right? So here it is, throat chakra. So how do you bless chakras? Well, we've talked about it before, but I'll show you. I like to put your hands on yourself. I believe that one of the most powerful blessings you will ever receive are the ones you give yourself. You know you. And so if nothing else, I just want to give you the empowerment, the permission if you need it, the excitement, and the idea that you should be blessing yourself. So put your hands on your throat chakra and then bless it with whatever you need. If this is just a regular day, maybe you're just blessing your throat to be clear, to be open, to be, good with communication. But perhaps you have something happening. Maybe you need to talk to your boss. Maybe you need to have a hard talk with your significant other or one of your kids, or, maybe you've finally had enough of your neighbor's barking dog and you need to go have a conversation. Whatever it is, bless your throat chakra first, that you will be able to be clear and concise and stand in your power. Maybe you are someone who feels like you can't trust your throat and you need to bless your throat chakra to be controlled and in tune with your heart. Whatever it is, you know you. So you bless it, you speak those things, and you allow that energy to flow through you and into your throat. And then I am a big fan of anointing your chakras with an essential oil after your blessing to seal that blessing in. And for the throat chakra, my favorite oil is lemongrass. 1 drop, that's it. 1 drop, swipe it across the throat chakra, done. So easy enough, right? So it is the throat this week. All right. The protect card is the bubble. Why do we protect? Well, because the energy around us sometimes is wild, right? Sometimes it's harsh, sometimes it's chaotic, sometimes it's just flat out unkind, and sometimes it's just overwhelming. We talked a lot last week about the empaths feeling so crushed under the angry energy of our current climate, and the bubble is a great one. This is so easy, right? So sit with your eyes closed and picture yourself wrapping you in a thick pink bubble of light, or blue or purple or whatever color comes up for you and feels right. An impermeable bubble that keeps you in your happy place so that you can go forth with life, but not be overly inundated with the energies of other people. That's pretty easy. You can put your house in a bubble, put your kids in a bubble, put your car in a bubble. You decide, but protective bubbles are really effective and they really help when you're a worrier and you cannot stop worrying and thinking about something. Wrap that thing that you're worried about up in a good light. That really helps. Handy wants to know what a good crystal to take to an interview would be. Handy for you, lapis is what hit me hard. A piece of lapis lazuli. Make sure it's got some nice pieces of mica in it, the gold in it. All right. The move card this week is dance. This is one of my favorites because you can do this anywhere. You can go dancing, but you can sure just turn up the music in your living room and dance. but moving your body helps to amp up those happy hormones in your brain, and it helps to break up stuck energy in your body. So a part of spiritual self-care is always going to be moving your body. A little bit, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, right? That doesn't mean you have to go to a Zumba class, but you can if you want to. Maybe you want to learn how to belly dance or do something a little more exotic. You decide. Okay, and then the boost card is meditate. My challenge for you this week, we've had this card lots of times. My challenge for you this week is to try a different kind of meditation. If you typically meditate a certain way, I'm going to challenge you to take yourself out of the box a little bit, out of your comfort zone a little bit, and meditate a different way. So perhaps you would like to try a guided imagery or mala meditation, or meditating to drumming or to flute music or to a gong, or you decide, right? I can't tell you. You have to tell you. Maybe you want to try a moving meditation and meditate while you dance and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. It's up to you. Meditations do not have to be long. 10 or 15 minutes is just fine, right? If you don't have an hour, don't give an hour. I wouldn't give an hour anyway, because that's too much. But that's way too much for this girl. So you decide what works for you, but that's where it's at. That's really weird. I silenced my phone and it rang anyway. Oh well. The college kid cannot ever get his mom's schedule figured out. It's okay. I'm not judging. Alrighty, guys. Let's jump into our topic. We have so much fun today. So I'm going to put a link in the chat room to a blog that I wrote clear back in 2015 about witches' runes. You guys need to have it so that we can move forward together here and talk about it. So witches' runes are a set of runes that are 13 runes, very different from Norse runes that are 24 or 25 if you believe in the blank rune, or if you don't, which is a big argument that we don't need to have. But you may have heard it before in the rune community. But witches' runes are totally different. So witches' runes are a set of 13 runes, and they have their own meanings. And witches' runes are meant to be used in the sense of doing readings for yourself or for other people. You can make your own witches' runes so easily. So you can make them out of wood. You know, you can just cut slices or buy slices of wood. I mean, you can buy them, slices of wood at the craft store that are uniform. They don't have to be uniform, but you know. So if you don't have a saw and a way to cut wood, you could do it that way. You could draw on them with a marker or a pen. You could wood burn them. You can make them out of rocks and draw on your rocks, or paint your rocks, or engrave or carve into your rocks, right? That's up to you. You can make them out of clay. You can get Fimo clay that you bake and just make your little discs out of it, and then use a sharp tool and carve the symbol into it and bake them. And then I've done it that way before, and if you do it that way, once they come out of the oven, it's really effective then to put a little bit of paint or a paint marker on it down into the grooves so that you really get the symbol to pop out. But there's probably lots of other ways to make them too, but those are the ones that came up for me. I've made them out of all 3 of those ways before, actually. But the set that I use actually is just a little set that my daughter made me, because I thought it was really sweet that she made me a set. She thought that my art skills were not up to par. She wasn't wrong. So she made me a set because she liked hers better. So I've been using hers. But when you go to use your runes, so here's my set. I guess I should show you these first. Here's my set, okay? And when you go to use your runes, they have to be in a bag of some sort. They need to be in something so that you can reach in there and, you know, fiddle around and pull the right rune. So I like them. This is just a big tarot bag. So that's how you do that, or that's what you want, you know, to store them in. A box would be fine too. I just like the bag. That's more traditional, but whatever. This isn't all that traditional anyway. All right, so you do want to clear them once you have them made, right? You're going to bless them first. So if you're making them, bless them. So I have a little blessing in that blog. The blessing was, hold them in your heart and say something like, I bless these runes to always tell the truth, both to the reader and the person being read. Let us always work together for the highest and best good of all involved. You can say something else if you want, but that's the blessing that I gave mine and you know, of course, provided to you. They should be cleared every so often. You can smudge them. You can leave them out in the moonlight. You could do some energy work, do some Reiki and clear them. Totally up to you. But clear them every once in a while. They're like your cards, any other magical tool or divination tool. They should be cleared here and there. And then you can start casting your runes. And rune casting is a lot of fun. So I'm going to make a little bit of room on my desk here. Make a mess on my desk, apparently. Okay, so then you pull your runes. So you reach in the bag and you think about what it is that you want to ask the runes, and you pull out the rune as you're thinking about it, and then you interpret that rune. So the nice thing about this blog is that I had borrowed a really great chart from Tarot Wikipedia. The Tarot Wikipedia is a great resource, and I had borrowed this chart from them about witches' runes and what they all mean. So you can use that as a jumping off point, but never be afraid to interpret your runes based on what your spirit is telling you. That is the very best way to go, right? So you probably need some kind of a jumping off point, but that's how it works. All right, so as promised, well, let's go through the runes actually, and then we'll do some reading. So we have the flight rune, the rings, romance, the star, the eye, the scythe, the moon, harvest, the sun, the female or woman, or the divine feminine if you'd like to see it that way, and then the man, the male, the masculine. The crossroads, and lastly, the waves. So that's what they look like, and that's the names of them. If you're watching me, if you're seeing what they look like. If you're listening, you're hearing me tell you what they're all called. So now you know. So I'm going to drop them all back into my bag. It's a really fun exercise, by the way, to make your own set of your runes. Not witches' runes, not Norse runes, your runes. Choosing 10, 15 symbols of things that are meaningful to you, that mean something to you, and making your own divination tool is really fun. I have a set of Katie runes that I made years ago in a class that are a lot of fun to use as well. Okay, well, let's do some readings. Okay, let me jump back into the chat room here. Okay, Maureen says it's been an earth-shaking October. Do you see it getting any better? All right, Maureen, we're going to pull a rune. My finger's on it. I'm having a hard time getting it out. All right, it is the crossroads. So the crossroads rune indicates to me, Maureen, that there is a fear of moving forward. Not a fear of moving forward per se, but a fear of things falling apart, things getting worse. that because you've been blindsided by some tough stuff, and because this year has been so chaotic, I feel like there's a real fear in you that the other shoe is going to fall. And what in the world could it be? Because there's already been some hard shoes fall. I feel like I'm actually going to pull one more rune for you, because I feel like I want a backup rune, or a clarification rune. All right, so it is the eye. So the eye rune indicates to me looking forward. This is kind of like the universe rune or card in Psychic Tarot. This, well, the star rune is, but this one is too. This is like the all-seeing eye, right? Or the third eye. So moving forward, trusting your intuition, because your intuition's been screaming at you all summer long, and you've listened and you've done what you could, right? And life experiences have happened and life has happened. But I feel like moving forward, it is about trusting your gut, trusting your intuition. Maureen, my answer is yes. I feel like things are going to get better. Things are going to get easier. There is no new crisis looming around the corner. The crises, unfortunately, have happened, but they've already happened. So I do feel like it's getting better. I feel like you are going to continue to have a lot of a great need from your family for you. And I feel like you're going to have to do everything you can to take great care of yourself. You have to, because you have a lot of people leaning on you right now. And so if you need those breaks, you take them. If you need a mental health day off of work, you take it. You've got to take care of you. But yes, I do see things getting better. Okay. Tara said, what is the best way for me to increase my finances? And Tara, thank you for asking it that way. That's one of the best ways to ask a rune question, is actually, what is the best way for, or what is my path forward to, something along those lines that is, gives the rune some space to work. All right, Tara, best way for you to increase your finances. It's the star. All right, the star rune is an indication of, basically, this is one that I was likening to like the universe card in the Psychic Tarot. The star rune means that you have, the sky's the limit. It's going to be about creativity for you, and you know that. It's going to be more clientele, more making things. I actually, it's so funny, as I'm talking to you, I see an Etsy store, and I know you already have one. I feel like this may be you increasing the kinds of things that you sell. I know that you do your knots, your hair knots, your fairy knots, but I feel like there's more forthcoming for you to add to that store. They are telling me to tell you to take some classes based on social media marketing, so that you can get your stuff very well seen on Facebook and on Instagram, so that you can market your store really well and really start selling your stuff like crazy. So that's what's coming up for me. It's you. It's always been you, though. You're very creative. You are a great self-starter. You're a great entrepreneur. I mean, I could see you with more local clients too. I definitely want to throw that in there. But I think more than that, this is bigger than that. This is more global, and it is you creating products and selling them. So, but that's one of the big things that comes up for me, is that you need to take some classes, get some more insight and education into how to have your product seen by more people. Okay, so there you go. That's exciting. Okay. Terry said, I would love a reading from the runes. Do you see my granddaughter getting a job soon? Well, let's tune into her and into that question. All right. This is movement. That's so fun. I love it. It's flight. Well, it is flight, but flight means movement. Okay, so this is the flight rune, which means movement, information, travel, and it definitely means a job. I feel like she's going to get a temporary job for Christmas, like a holidays type job that starts really soon, that she then continues to stay on and work well beyond that. The thing is, she just needs her foot in the door. She's a great employee. And once she finally gets something going, they will love her and want to keep her. So tell her not to be afraid of looking at temporary stuff or holiday stuff, that it would be a good thing for her to go ahead and do anyway. So yeah, there is a job coming soon. that's exciting and good news. When you're waiting for news like that, it can be pretty maddening, can't it? Okay, so other Terry said, love to get a Rune reading and spell check. Oh, made it ride, a ride reading. All right, Terry, let's see what the runes want you to know. All right, it is the sun. So I don't know if it's getting cold where you live. Kidding. Maybe, I don't know. Actually, the sun rune indicates that there's good news coming. The sun rune indicates that there is something new coming up in your life. And I feel like there is. There feels to me like there's some opportunity coming forward to you. It's social. Whether this is a friend group or it's a new friend or connection, or, you know, some sort of relationship. I feel like what you have going on here, Terry, is an opportunity to do something new. They're telling me that you will likely consider turning it down at first. See, this looks to me like some kind of an invitation to join some kind of a group or attend some kind of a function with other people that you kind of go, I'm going to say no and stay home. Don't do that. They're saying go. Whatever it is, go. Get out of your comfort zone a little bit and do something social. They're saying that it's going to really pay off in making some contacts and connections, but also just doing something fun. So that's good. Well, I'm excited to hear what it is. So, alrighty. I really want to take this one. I'm going to try and tune into it. There we go. So Madeline says, I would love to know which way to go now. I have a job I like, but also would like to do some metaphysical work, which I love, but it hasn't really taken off. Can you see which would be the better route to go for me? All right, let's pull a rune, but I have an answer for you already, but we'll pull a rune. All right. Oh, it's the harvest. That's the harvest rune. Okay. So what the harvest rune means is it's about blessings. It's about investing in yourself. Sometimes it's about education. It's about providing for yourself. Well, duh, that's exactly what the question was, right? What's the best way to provide for yourself? So Madeline, here's my answer. And I'm sorry if it's lame, but the answer is both. You are going to have a mainstream job. But there is a way for you to still be able to do your metaphysical work on the side. I do not at this point feel like you'll be able to have one without the other. In other words, you're going to need that income. Here's the thing about starting a spiritual business. And I think you probably already figured this piece out, but this is for everyone who would like to see clients and have a spiritual type business. It's really tough to attract clients if you are in a space of desperation. Not that you are, but bear with me. When you are in a place of feeling like, if I don't get this many clients this week, I can't pay my rent or whatever it is, it's tough to get. Because clients are drawn to people who are in a better place emotionally. And so for you, I love that you have the job that you like and that you're in a good energy with it. You're not desperate to quit it. You're not desperate for money. You just want to do this work because it sings to your soul. Do it. Do it a little on the weekends. Do it a little at night. Have some good boundaries, right? And perhaps I feel that, well, okay, thank you. They're saying that they feel like in the future that there will be a time where you will be able to cut back to part-time work and do your metaphysical business more. So find a way to, moving forward, to start balancing that you can do both. I feel like you totally can. And I love that the mainstream job makes you happy because so many people's jobs don't. And you have that, which is a great gift. So I'm excited to see what you do moving forward. But basically, you know, the rune itself really is indicating this is about giving yourself the opportunity to do it. So keep the job, keep the income, but do it anyway. Find a way to balance it and do both. The other part of the harvest rune is education, which does make me wonder if it would behoove you to invest in a little time learning more about marketing to get yourself, your metaphysical business out there. Maybe you and Tara will run into each other in some kind of a training. But seriously though, I feel like it would help you. to get a little better basis or foundation into how to get that metaphysical business to roll more, how to get more clients, how to attract more people to you. And I don't really mean that from a metaphysical sense. You've got that piece down. I just mean from a business sense, from a business and marketing standpoint. Okay. You can't have one without the other. Okay. She says, thanks, perfect. You are very welcome. My honor. Okay, my Facebook just hopped a little bit. Give me just a second. Okay. All right, Eva said she would love to get a general message from the lovely runes. You bet, Eva. And Eva, I hope that you saw me say that we are going to do a Dark Entities panel on Halloween. Okay. All right, so Eva asking for a general message. Oh, and you get the star. So Eva, they're telling me that you felt kind of stuck the last little while and that you just struggled with, you know, finding something that fits and feels right for you, both locally, but also in being able to give yourself some kind of an opportunity to meet more people. But also I feel like this has to do with building you up. I think building up your presence, your self-esteem, your ability to connect with other people. I feel like you sometimes just feel very blocked and set apart from others. And that's the star rune comes up, I think, Eva, because we need to empower you to be able to be more social. Isn't that funny? The star rune doesn't necessarily mean that, but that, you know, in general, but that's what's coming up for me, is that we need to empower you to be able to meet more people and to, oh, okay. Well, the star rune does, one of the messages of it is be yourself. And so here's what I'm here to tell you right now, Eva. You're an amazing person. And you know I know that. I've worked with you a lot. We've been partners for a long time here in the Listen world, and you're an amazing person. And I feel like you don't always give yourself enough credit for that. You have so much to offer friends, in relationships, just in any kind of a group setting. You have a lot to offer. You have so much knowledge, and your spirit is the kind of spirit that helps bring peace and calming to a room. Some people have this beautiful gift of being able to calm a room with their presence. Well, or piss off and excite a room with their presence, right? The door swings both ways on that. But you are one of those people who, one of your gifts is that your energy sets the tone for the energy in any space that you're in. And I think that you don't give yourself, you don't know that. You don't give yourself the credit for that. So here's that's what I'm giving you, Eva, is a big hug, a big affirmation, and asking you to find more ways to step out of your home, out of your comfort zone, and be around other people. It's about being social. Okay. Okay. So moving on. Raven wants to know if she'll find the sodalite moonstone bracelet she lost yesterday. Raven, that sucks. I feel like the fairies stole it. It's masculine. It's a masculine rune. Well, we don't pull this one very often. Isn't that weird? I hardly ever see it, but I don't know why. I was going to say it's because I mostly... No, it's not. It's the feminine rune. Listen to me. That's the feminine. That's the divine feminine rune. I don't think that you're going to find that bracelet where you lost it. I feel like it was taken from you by an elemental who really wanted it. I think that it's possible to get it back. So if I were you, I would put a call out to the elementals around you, all those fairies that live in the woods around your house, and tell them that you want your bracelet back, and you want it back by tomorrow, and see where it turns up. It's there. It just got it got borrowed by sticky fingers. All right, Catherine wants to know if a new partner will manifest soon. So I'm going to actually alter the question a little bit, Catherine, to what is your best path forward on manifesting or bringing in a new partner? I swear to God, I'm mixing them up. It's the star rune. Star rune. Okay, so let's apply that then to relationships, because the star rune indicates that you need to go for what you want. So really what they're saying is if you want to bring a new partner in, you've got to be more aggressive. And I know it's easy for a lot of us to say, I would really like to bring a new partner in, or I'd like a new job or whatever, but I don't really want to do the thing that I have to do that, you know? And I think that's really what's coming up really strong on this for you, is that if you really want to bring a new partner in, it's going to be on you. Be yourself, have good boundaries, you know, don't let morons into your world. You know this, right? You've done that, but you're not doing it anymore. And so, but you're going to have to get more aggressive. You know what dating is like, the lottery, and you can't win if you don't play. And this is what it's all about for you. So self-esteem and confidence, knowing that there is the right person out there for you, and put yourself out there a little bit more to date, to meet people. Go to dating events, date online, make sure that friends know that you are interested in dating, and just keep that energy open for bringing a new person in. That's gonna it's key. Okay, and keep us posted. I'm excited. All right, Denise said, is there a job opportunity coming up soon? And again, Denise, I'm going to reframe your question a little bit, looking at what do we need to know about bringing a new job opportunity coming up soon. And I promise I'm mixing. Since that star rune just wants to be, Christ almighty. I'm going to keep it, because I think that there's energy in that, but I'm going to pull another rune too. Because that star rune just wants to jump out with every single reading. And maybe that's where it was at for you. All right. Movement. So, and actually, seriously, if we put them together, right? You have the star rune, which basically means that this is about your action. It's about your confidence. It's about you really putting yourself out there. One thing I'm hearing for you, Denise, is that you undersell yourself. I want to challenge you to have somebody else write your resume if you haven't already done it. Have someone else write it. I think you're underselling you. I think that you are struggling a little bit to really tell them that how good you would be. Make sure that you have some great letters of reference, because you should be able to get those from people you've worked for in the past that would still say great things about you. But, you know, we add to it movement, which indicates that, yes, there is a job coming soon. But obviously the star rune basically is telling us you got to go for it. You've got to have a lot of confidence around it. You've got to apply for jobs that you might think that you're a little underqualified for. I think that you're selling yourself short. So let's shoot a little bit higher, and let's absolutely, yeah, the star, right, Terry? Terry said the star's for everyone today. It sure is. I'm laughing about it. It's funny how that happens. But anyway, Denise, yes, there's a job opportunity coming up soon. Have somebody else rewrite that resume. Start selling yourself better. Start believing that you deserve a higher level job. You certainly do. And let's see what happens. So that's exciting. Okay, guys, we've done what we do. We've definitely talked down to the end of the show. I'm going to retire the runes for now, but we'll probably do runes next week too. Might as well. So I want to let you guys know, of course, that you can find me tomorrow with the Psychic Sisters at 11 a.m. Pacific. Don't forget those 2 extra shows that we have coming up the week of, next week, of course, on the 26th, the Mediumship Panel, and then the Dark Entity Panel on the 31st. So lots more good stuff happening. Also, just a quick note that we have some new shows. It's really fun. We have Sounds Like Lisa on Thursdays now. We have Multidimensional Living with Katie Bray on Fridays, which debuted last week and was fantastic. And then on the 26th, we have another brand new show starting. And so I'll tell you more about that one later, but that's exciting as well. I cannot remember the name of that show, unfortunately. My brain has just died. So, no, I already said that one. It's the other one. Christy can't remember either. We suck. Okay, I'll tell you more about that one later, but there is another new show starting on Fridays. So anyway, there's just a lot of great things happening. So I'm going to go ahead and turn you guys loose to Elizabeth Lindsay, but I want to thank you so much for being here. You're listening to The Katie Weaver Show on 1-2 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.